Hello everyone. So welcome to our Module 3 and our second major writing project. And so this project is going to move within the company or organization that we are going to be working in rather than outside of it, as was the case with the job application and cover letter. Job ad analysis and cover letter. Let me rephrase that. So this one is going to be a short report. And I'm just looking down at the overview right now. I'm going to go over a few things here. First of all, I want to open up the calendar. This always makes me feel a little sad and anxious myself looking at this calendar because we fly through this class so quickly. But as you see, the second project is a little bit longer than the other ones. It's actually 10 full days that we're going to be looking at this because it involves research. And that takes time. And there's a lot of learning material to go through, and that takes time. So you have a few extra days here. Make sure that you look ahead at what's coming up, because in this project, and actually in our next project, our peer review that we are going to do is only going to have a window of 24 hours. All right? So plan ahead for that, because it's just, I need to give you as much time as possible for the actual writing of it and the research and the writing. And so that peer review window is going to be really short. So plan ahead for that one. And so right here, looking down, we've got the overview where you found this video and the instructions. I've got them open right over here. I'm not going to say a whole lot here about the instructions for the short report, simply because I've made another video where I cover it in a little bit more detail, because there's some choice and there's some different things that are going to be involved in this assignment. So I wanted to clarify a few things. So please take the time to read over that video or watch that video and let me know if you have any questions. Other than that, this short report is going to include some different moves, and I've organized the learning material so that they focus on each of those moves. And so this first one includes video on, on just the short reports itself. So make sure that you read that, because that's going to help you with more instructions, or watch that, or read the transcript. If you don't like watching the videos, read the transcripts. That might be easier for some of you. But here, I'll go ahead and just walk through each of these. So the readings of this module are going to be really important. They're going to walk through the writing of reports. And here is the video. Down here below is going to be some resources for research, finding those sources, because you're going to be finding about 3 or 4 sources. And some of those are going to be peer reviewed. So right here are some resources to help you find those sources. And the next learning materials page includes some more videos on finding those sources. Okay, make sure, I think only one of them has to be peer reviewed, and the other ones can be, from the internet, but they have to be from reliable, credible sources that meet the caliber expected for a professional setting. So you're not going to just grab a website that has a few bullet points. That's going to really undermine your credibility as a professional. And so you want to make sure that you find those credible sources. So there's another page of learning materials. This next one is on the document design and integrating those visuals. Okay, so we're going to be integrating some charts and some graphs in our reports. And so first one is about designing basically formatting. Formatting is really key, and design is really key. It makes that incredibly important first impression, and it also determines the ease at which your reader or your audience is going to progress through your report and understand the content. And down here is another video on integrating those visuals and creating those visuals. And they don't have to be elaborate. They don't have to be all fancy. Okay, they can be really basic visuals, really basic graphs and charts that can be just as meaningful, if not more meaningful. I also have a learning page here, our learning materials on writing summaries, because you're going to be summarizing several of these, well, all of your articles, all of your resources and your sources that you're going to be bringing in, and summarizing, writing summaries in a way that your reader knows that they are reading a summary is a little tricky, okay? And so there's a video and some content here on how to write a summary. Then we get into our activities, okay? And the deliverables, the things that you're going to submit. The first one is going to be the new week of the Yellow Dig discussion. And I think I'll make a separate announcement for this to make sure everybody hears this. One bit of advice that I want to encourage all of you to do, to accept, is to start on these discussions early in the week. They open Monday mornings, okay, at like 1 o'clock in the morning or 12:01 in the morning. Start early so that you give one another a chance to respond to your discussion posts, so then you can respond to them, so that you have a lot more time to generate that discussion and to earn those points. Please do not wait until Thursday night to start your discussion or make your post. That's only making it harder for you. Okay, so there's the discussion. It's all about writing and research, you know, offering one another some advice and some tips on things that work for you in writing reports and doing research and things that maybe you struggle with. And so that should be a really helpful discussion. And then what I have here, and I'm gonna jump out here and look down at our module again, where we are, module 3, so you can see I'm adding a reminder, because this Harmonize, these peer reviews through Harmonize, the due dates and the what do they call them, the different steps, I can't remember the word that they call it, the different steps of the peer review can be a little tricky. So right here it says the peer review is due on June 9th, but that's actually the feedback, okay? That is due on June 9th. So you have to get your draft in there by the 8th, okay? By the end of the 8th. And again, this is a short turnaround. You get your rough draft in there by the 8th, and then your feedback by the end of the 9th, okay? And so this right here is just a little reminder. Here, I'll open it up again. It's just a little reminder for you to get that, and it's on the to-do list. I made a to-do date, so it'll be on your calendar, to get your rough draft in there on time, okay? And then you will go here, and here's the actual peer review, where you will submit. This opens up to Harmonize, where you will submit your draft, and you will then access Harmonize so that you can post your feedback, okay? So follow that. And then we get into the actual submission page for the short report. Here's those instructions again, and the rubric. Make sure that you look over this rubric. And remember, this report needs to be your original report, okay? No AI-generated writing. That robs you of the opportunity to hone these writing skills, to hone the development of your professional writing voice, and just the critical thinking that you gain through wrestling through these types of writing projects is just priceless. And the difference between those who submit AI and those who wrestle with it, once you get into your professional field, it's going to be an incredible difference on who leads and who follows and all of that stuff. So please do not use AI generated, do not submit AI generated writing or anything that looks like AI generated writing, because it will have a profound effect on your final grade and on the efficacy of your paper, on your report. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Have a great week.